write Cameroon literature. You see, I don't write if I want to be relevant, because the question is relevance. Am I going to be relevant? If I'm going to be articulate the problems of my people, I'm going to look at them from my own country. You see, because I discovered very early on that I could do was become a writer. You know, and not only a writer, but a writer was going to be condemned repeatedly. You see, and I'm not going to abdicate that role. So I couldn't have stayed in Nigeria and write like Cameroon literature. You see, it's true, when I was in Nigeria, I started off as writing love poems, but I don't write love poems now. And I stopped writing love poems when I got to Cameroon. Because the experience in Cameroon is very unique and very different. That we're moving forward, and we're moving, in circles, And I say, as a writer, going back to what a poet has said, that a writer must know his country the way a lover knows the body of his mistress. When you write, if you don't know the history of Cameroon, its geography, its economics, its politics, etc. Because you see, when I write, I'm interested in power. My main theme is power. How is power won? How is he kept? If you win power in a fraudulent manner, you are going to rule fraudulently. That's what I'm saying. Because that's what we're doing in the long run. And I go back to what Marx has said. Marx is not an African. Yeah. Marx is not. He doesn't even know. He didn't write about Africa in many ways. Although he made some allusions to Africa. But Marx made a very important statement. His 11 theses on Ludwig Feuerbach. He says this: that the philosopher of success in interpreting the world, the point is to change it. You see, and you cannot be in the world by explaining things over and over. You see, it's how you can. You don't say, as I said, growing up in Ibadan University, I grew up with a little poster on my wall. It says, when Senghor spoke, we said how well he spoke. But when NATO spoke, we said, let us march. You see, you can't change your society to a better place if you are explaining things. You see, it is how you can change and bring about a better for humanity. And like I said earlier on, my tribe is humanity. It's a human race. That's what I'm saying. And that human race must be built from a Cameroonian structure. You see, a Cameroonian foundation. So although African literature as it is, has to do with what? The question of consciousness. That's the meaning of African literature. African literature is not African literature. You can't write African literature in Africa. And that's what I think you have to do. You have to make it very clear that there's what you call the alternative writing in Africa now. And that has to do with the African experience in literature. Yeah. You see, what you are presenting is the early response, not the African response.
So why are you so aggressive in your writing?
You see,
why are you so rebellious sometimes?
No, you see, the point is not to do with rebellion. The point has to do with why I'm reflecting the conscience of the majority. That's the point.
Is the majority in Africa so rebellious?
No, but in Africa needs a voice. You see, the elites have warped values. You see, where we are now, people are playing golf. How many people are here? You see, that's not the it's a bourgeois, the Western bourgeois method of apprehending reality. I'm interested in looking at reality from the bottom, not from the top. It's because when I look at reality from the top, you are going to see a false picture. And that's what I'm doing in my works. That I constantly begin to show how the Canadian people respond to reality. So here we are. I teach in the university. I have students who are in the university. When I went to the university, I'm doing my own time. Who were well fed. Not that there was much. But people could share. But it's with the impact of the negative nature of colonialism, the elites are grabbing everything for themselves. And they're not ready to share. We are a very rich country. That's a paradox. But we are very... Just to show you see what's going to happen in Cameroon. And when I say politics, people go to the villages too. What are you going to explain to the villagers? They know what you're doing.
So, are we saying that Bate Besong is a prophet of doom?
I'm not a prophet. I will not be there. I'll stop writing about the prophet of doom.
How positive can you be?
Humanity itself regenerates. In fact, humanity builds. The most common thing in life is change.
Many say Bate Besong is not positive.
No, that's the failure to do my work. Look, even play the banquet. I try to help those who are in power. That they will help you. You don't have to help like Mobutu or like what I think was happening now in Guinea, these other cops in Guinea. That's not the way to end of life.
Is everything in Cameroon so negative?
It is not. We have learned, we have brilliant people in Cameroon, intelligent people, but we don't have, what we have is leadership. We have very mediocre leadership. If I have to score leadership, I'll score them 2 on 100.
If Bate Besong were to be called up to lead, would he accept?
No, I told you before somewhere, I said I wanted Mr. Biya to appoint me Prime Minister in charge of elections. I want to be in charge of elections. If I said my proposal that we won't be where we are today. And I said the first thing I do is I will make sure that I get all the governors imprisoned. I will flog all the deals. They will not come near any electoral booth. I made that point. I made that point so many years ago. And I want a change to work out this man.
You make yourself very rich.
No, I'm not making myself rich.
But you will become millionaire.
Look, the system is built on falsehood. You see, the most dangerous thing for you to do as a writer is to preach falsehood. I can give an example of a writer, some of the best writers we have had. They start writing. But it can be very dangerous. There are 2 kinds of writers in Cameroon. 2 kinds. Those who are the government writers. Of course, there's no vision. It's what makes a writer. A writer makes him is that you can speak to people of the next generation.
Yes.
And that's why people live in fear.
Bate Besong, you
Yes.
change worker.
Yes.
You've had before Beast of No Nation.
Yes.
Today you have Disgrace.
I wrote I won the highest prize in African, the prize in literature when I published looking for Last Case.
So what is wrong with your society? The society you live in?
What wrong with my society is deeply ingrained. My society is built on is built on a neo-colonial structure. You cannot build a neo-colonial state within a modern state. That's why I have all these problems. But all of us, and when people want to resist, they resist. It's people who are going to a point of beyond even depression. People are not waiting for anything to happen. Let nobody fool you. Your society is dynamic. Nobody should fool you. People have given up. They have not given up. They are only watching because, first of all, let's look at the world that came up here in the there.
What do you have against the West?
No. Look, the West would never, nobody will ever, a slave master will not give you help, assistance.
But you are dressed in a beautiful Western.
No! That's what you see, because you want to make me West or African.
And beautiful glasses.
No, let us come. You see, let us come. We cannot ignore. We cannot ignore. I don't want to go to the point of Sango, of talking about cultural mulatto, which is vague. You see, the point is that we are living within a modern world. And let me give you that I'm telling you that we are living within a modern world. And then you cannot use neo-colonial structures to build. And let me tell you one thing. What about wearing a suit? December. I had no office. Remember, I was showing the University of you see? And then I was being monitored. I knew that if I got into the campus, I was being watched all over. If I took a piece of chalk, they told me why I took a piece of chalk. And one thing that made me very certain in my life is when Mr. Abba Machoy was sent to the University of Boya. And I got there and testified to him. I gave him reasons why he should succeed. But he misrepresented me. And for that, I was persecuted. You see? And this for me pained me terribly. But I didn't have hope. Because I was able to place all this in the light of what I was doing. That there's no way I can redeem the Cameroonian elite. You see, because what they see there, even in that university campus, what was going on there was in fact the playing out of the history of Cameroon. That you could say that's where was very, very regressive. Now, hopefully in my university, we are moving towards a new dawn. In terms of going back to the university's true mission, that is a place for research and teaching. The whole idea of a politicized campus is getting off after 14 December. We're going to see how the United taking shape. That whether you are a political force, you know, we're going back to where scholars have been given the right place. In terms of research, that research, even if there's no money, but you know that there's something is coming up for those who are scholars. Because they always go for a teacher in a university. Some of your critics say that Bate Besong could have made a very good war general. No, but it's a war of vibration. You know what Mugabe is doing? What Mugabe has gone through is what I'm also... But I went through what Mugabe has gone through. The other day I didn't have my wife like when Mugabe's wife was. I didn't have my wife raped. That's the only difference. But Mugabe has gone through what I went through. But Mugabe is, in a sense, different. Because Mugabe's society, Kenya, is like all those things. You know, there's so many kinds of imprisonment. Yes. There's so many kinds of imprisonment. I had an MA distinction from Ibadan University. Do you know where I was sent to teach? No. I was sent to teach in Amada Youth Village. Where I worked against the government. When I stressed that I wrote poems in their honor, to their memory, and I was persecuted. If I was taken over teaching abroad, I was humiliated, I was blacklisted, I was blackmailed. Even when this organization was produced, for more than 20 years in Cameroon public service, my children went through a lot of pain. But you see, I don't know, my dad called me one morning and said to me, Daddy, if you ever sell, I will denounce you. What will prevent the pain? So let's come back to Bate Besong. Yes. You talk about your son, your daughter. Yes. Now, does Bate Besong have a family life? No, what I think you should do, you should ask her when my wife comes when she because I don't want people to know even. I mean, she can talk for herself. Okay, let's come back again. Yes. Life. Yes. Now, apart from writing, apart from going to school. Yes. What else did you do in your life? You know, I told you went to music. Yeah, I was a musician. I started as a musician. You know, I played in I had a group called the Small Faces, but that was quite very young. And I started playing music, I went into writing. And then you were a fan of James Brown. Oh, James, I'm a James Brown man. I like popcorn. Can you still sing James Brown? I won't do that now. It's not the guitar, but I stopped using the guitar because it brings me back sad memories. Say it loud. I'm black and proud. Yes. That was revolutionary. Is that what inspired you? Brown, you see, Brown is a hero Renaissance in literature. Brown contributed to a black experience in literature. The way he said, I'm black and proud, for the first time people said, oh, so black people were also good. And Brown changed the entire revolutionary thing. And he tied in what we were doing in the Harlem Renaissance. When people like Lansing Hughes said, if people like what we're doing, okay. If you don't know what we're doing, we'll go ahead. And then I came to, exactly what I did in literature. People wanted to go to, remember I'm a writer. You see, a writer is a man who is, that's what Shoga says. The writer ignores reality. And what I was saying is not pretty.
So very quickly, Bate Besong,
Yeah.
what do you consider your worst moment in your life yet?
The worst moment in my life, well,
One.
I said
No, one. The worst.
I won't say worst because I'm a writer, I'm a man of hope.
The moment you thought that everything is lost, let me throw in the towel, that's it.
When I left Nigeria, don't forget that when I left Nigeria, I had only lost my Facebook. At the age of 24, I was probably my Facebook.